Greetings, huntsmen and huntresses. Welcome back to RWBY-JPDE. Oh my god, I can't believe we got out of there. Amber, how do you know about that secret passage? Long story. Suffice to say, though, Ozpin doesn't know about it, would have also made the perfect secret entrance. If only my condition hadn't made me so scatterbrained. You could have planned this earlier, much safer. I'm sorry. Hey now, none of that talk. What's important is that you're back. You're safe. Well, technically my body is still trapped down there. But I'm no longer slipping into the cold embrace of death, and I can soul project again, which makes me much less defenseless. I'd say it's 2 more steps forward than some. Oh my. Those faces. Something wrong with my projection. Maybe my skin tone is off. No, you're positively healthy. It's just that your speech is much more focused. Oh, that. Quite. This is actually my default way of talking. It's just I was incomplete. Before, my soul didn't project all my mind and memories. Ah, yes, this is what surprised me about them. You mean... Yes, Kenshi. But there will be time for that later. Now you should go. You're using the second person. What about you? I believe it's high time me and the headmaster had some words. So I'm going to wait. Oh, this is going to be good. Alright. Let's do what she said and bring Bella to our dorm room. Then the moment she's recovered enough to walk, we'll bring her back to Vale. Roger that. And we should also advise the others. Well, that's getting interesting. Thanks for walking with me to the station, Janara. Thanks for buying me some shaved ice, and for everything else. It was fun. Yes, it was. And you're so much more nice than I thought you'd be. You thought I wouldn't be nice? Thank the gods it's over. This was about to give me diabetes, and it went on for so long after we got the confirmation text. Oh shush. Anyway, Ozpin is good with kids, isn't he? Yeah, and not in his usual way. Like, he feels less like a mentor, more like a father. Well, he was technically a father to 4 kids, and we have no idea how many times he possessed like a family man. I mean, for all we know, maybe he only possesses teenagers and kids, and then when they're old enough, then he progresses through their life as like that. We have no idea. We only know about 2 of his life. We barely know anything about what his Ozpin life was like, do we? We only know a little bit about Oscar, and he's supposed to be basically a gender-bent version of oh god, what's the name? Why am I blanking? Dorothy, that's it. Why was I blanking on Dorothy? I should know that. It's a classic fairy tale. Ugh. A father, yes. Yeah, to be honest, all I've heard about you made me think you wouldn't be nice at all. But I guess I was wrong, wasn't? Oh no! The most syrupy part! Did he just use time manipulation? I feel like that's what he did. Who what? I should go, Janara. And regarding what you were saying earlier, there are things about me that would paint me as not nice to many, yes. But I think you're mature enough to understand that. Oh yeah, because people really do hate what you did, particularly the fact you basically guilt-tripped Pyrrha in the canon, and of course, the fact you didn't tell anyone that Salem was immortal. I mean, good lord, people. Sometimes, to do the right thing, you have to not be nice. I can understand that sometimes, but not always. Yes, I understand that. Jara, you alright? Yes, I'm fine, big sis. Alright, cool. Do you have any idea what the hell happened? One moment your shaved ice was plummeting, and the next... I have no idea, but... maybe it's that semblance thing Kenji mentioned. Maybe, or maybe it's magic. Who knows? Students, I'm way too young and fit to have a heart attack. What the hell happened down there? Did you make a mistake? Not really. Everything went according to plan, but we had no idea that to foresee something like a silent alarm kick directly to General I would scroll. I can't believe Ozpin would allow a system that connects into the network when he doesn't even have security cameras down there. Well, maybe he didn't. Yes, that would make sense, wouldn't it? You mean that General I will put that system in the machine without Ozpin knowing about it? Most likely. The network is something Ozpin doesn't understand, but he knows it has vulnerabilities. Vulnerabilities he can't possibly account for, so no surveillance. But the General obviously disagreed. Yes, General I definitely has quite the strong personality, especially for something so important. I don't think he would comply with a lesser option just because Ozpin doesn't trust it. I wonder if the headmaster was aware of the General's feelings. Towards him, you mean? Who knows? But I doubt he was aware of him going behind his back. You had no right, James. You can't be serious. You should be thanking me right now, Ozpin. Uh-oh, this is not good. If it wasn't for the technology you mistrust so much, we wouldn't even have known someone had entered the vault and operated on the machine. And if it wasn't for that technology, they wouldn't have gotten inside to begin with. Excuse me? They didn't force their way down inside, James. The elevator opened up... operated normally. Someone had cracked the password system that your subordinates designed. But that's impossible. It would take a genius, I imagine, because no one in Alice with that kind of skill has ever defeated her side, did they? Wait, how does he know about Arthur Watts? Didn't realize it until, like, you see him in, like, the last couple of seasons, so how are they bringing that up now? If I may, Headmaster, unless you would like to climb... If I may, Headmaster, unless you would like to climb up and down a hole every time you needed to get to the secret vault buried meters underground, a certain level of technology is expected. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Jump down 30 feet? You're not the Doctor, you won't survive that. Although, maybe with Ori you could, but then again, the whole getting back up thing might be a bit more difficult. I mean, you're not Miss Goodwitch, you don't have telekinesis. And despite what happened, a randomly generated code still remains the safest access to Terrans. Even biotics aren't as safe, since they can be replicated with certain semblances or acquired. Professor Paladina, anything that you may learn about us needs to remain a secret. Headmaster Ozpin, what do you do with acquired knowledge is not something that I would let any man or organization dictate for me, unless you have a very good argument for that. Alright, that's quite enough. The most important matter at hand right now is Amber. How is she? What happened? Nothing short of a miracle, Miss Goodwitch. At least according to her last readings from before the capsule was opened and the newest ones. What do you mean? I mean that all the damage done to her aura structure and body has been healed. She's healed? But at the state she was in? Yes, there's no semblance, medicine, or operation that could have done this. But the proof is downright considerably floating in a capsule. Miss Amber got a clean bill of health from me, and I believe that once the damage to her soul is fixed, she'll wake up. I'm pretty sure there might be one semblance. I mean, I could be wrong, but couldn't Jean's semblance technically do that? It could technically, or amplifies the very soul. It could, in theory, fix Amber's soul, but I could be wrong. Because people keep, making assumptions based on Sean's semblance, because we don't know that much about it. We just know the basics. But if it does, empower the soul, it could actually fix her. Who knows? They snuck into the vault to heal Amber. Why would they? Indeed a mystery. Oh! But as of right now, I can't bring myself to care. Amber! Lady Amber to you, Headmaster Ozpin. Oh! And you all people aren't allowed to address me by my first name. This is soul projection. I didn't know it was possible for a comatose state. That makes two of us then. Still, quite the fortuitous circumstance. I won't have to wait until I'm back on my feet to throw my contempt at yours. Contempt? You can't possibly blame us for what happened to you. Well, you did allow that coward into your circle. The fact the guy actually betrayed you to Salem proves it. After all, he is the one who tricked Amber to go down a different route, and Crow was late because of it. That had nothing to do with bad luck. It was just she was tricked, and so was Crow. We tried to protect you, Amber. The only reason you're still here is because of Crow. Don't be ridiculous. I obviously don't. It was my decision to leave the sanctuary, knowing of the dangers. As such, the responsibility of anything that transpired falls on my shoulders alone. What I would like to know is, why am I still alive? James? Seriously, who is this young woman? Amber, what are you saying? A particularly logically challenged monkey could understand what you have understand. You have no idea how I was healed, which implies you don't know how to earlier either. So, if all that awaited me was weeks of agony, wasting away in a tube like a rotten vegetable, in brine, why wasn't I given an honorable death and a proper burial? Was my family even told what had transpired? You must understand, Lady Amber, that there was a bigger things at stake than just your life or your honor. Your death would have caused what was left of your power to transfer to your attacker, and that would have shifted the balance in favor of the enemy. Explain. The enemy already has 2 maidens on her side. No, she doesn't. She only has 1. Heck, she only had 1 and a half. She only had half a maiden right now. After all, Raven still is the spring maiden, and Fia is still the winter maiden at this point. So, what are they talking about? But then again, I guess the story was made before the guy watched the rest of the series. You mean the spring and summer? Again, she doesn't. We don't even know who the summer maiden was, do we? This is unprecedented situation, which takes unprecedented action to be taken. I'm sorry we couldn't offer you the proper respect, but the survival of this world takes precedence over your fruitless rites. Oh, funeral rites, sorry. Uh-oh, this is gonna be bad. What a crock of crap! Unprecedented? You call this unprecedented? Hiding, biding your time, turtling. This is the same old drove to flee your care. Something unprecedented would have been retaliating, hunting, find the broad who hurt me and our 2 crows, and receive a strapado in their skins. Strapado, I think that's it. Yeah, strapado on their skins. I think that's the word. I think a strappado. I think that's basically, you know, like a thin blade or something. I don't know. All out war is not an option, because it would actually yield results. My great-grandfather didn't win a war by biding time infinitely. He did it by laying waste to an army. And how many lives were lost because of that? How many would be lost if this war had continued? I'm not here to argue the ethics of war with you. Right. The unquestionable Headmaster Ozpin, were it not for Amber Telia Veilstrin IV, prefers actions to empty words. I will fight your war for you, starting with a viper hiding under your nose in your own school. I do like they call Cinder a viper. It does make sense. She said the enemy's in Beacon, Ozpin, and we probably set to have a magic duel in your school. I agree with you about the importance of secrecy, Ozpin, but don't you think it's unwise to not use everything at our disposal to protect the innocents from this madness? To protect the innocents. Okay, he's gonna bring back what he said to Janara about sometimes to be good you have to not be nice or something. I can't remember the exact words, but that's what it was like. What do you suggest, James? Penny, dear, you have definitely evolved with some peculiar characters. Oh, please, we barely know anything about Amber in the original series. I think it would be cool if she was like this. That was so liberating. Their faces and reactions and the verbal joust after Munda spent as a Billy Harvey functioning mass. That was cathartic. Now, though, I shall rest and gather some magic and think about how I'm going to explain everything to them. So much to tell, so little time. I'm sure it'll come, Amber. I'm sure it'll come. Okay, guys, I'm actually going to end the video here. I know this one's slightly shorter than normal, but I just want to show that little connection. And next week, we're going to be doing the final little event, the final little flag between Cinder and Amber. So that's it, guys. This is GDF, and I am out of here. See ya.